Long before the sun rises, the Red Hill baker has been at work. As the light creeps over this warm, lush country, the Red Hill baker welcomes another batch of our daily bread. Bread baked in the traditional fashion, simple, fresh ingredients with 18 hours of fermentation. It all starts with 6 ingredients: baker's yeast, salt, olive oil, vitamin B, baker's soy and rye flour with the addition of water. This is the palate that feeds the art of the master baker.
Every morning we start at 4 a.m. The fermenters have been working overnight, that is giving the dough a chance over 18 hours to develop the sugars and proteins, which gives the final loaf those wonderful colours of bread that's been baked by an artisan baker. The difference between manufacturing and artisan baking is the time we take and the passion we use to make a beautiful loaf of bread. Manufactured bread is manufactured in a short period of time using 14 ingredients, half of which are chemicals to preserve it. Well, the bake's now complete. The bread's on the rack, ready for our customers to come and take away and enjoy this wonderful flavoursome bread. The next stage is the stage of making the doughs and forming them up and putting them into the fermenter. And we set them aside overnight to grow, to develop the sugars and proteins, which in tomorrow's morning bake will look like they are on the shelves today. The passion continues through our range of pies. These pies are made from the wonderful produce that we get from the local area, the land and the sea coming together to make you wonderful, fresh pies made daily, baked here with trans fat-free pastry, which eliminates all the bad fats out of these wonderful products, which possibly makes them halfway good for you. We have a wonderful range of pies, starting with a traditional beef and burgundy pie, which is made from beautiful beef stock and wonderful red wine from the district, chicken and chardonnay pies, and a few different pies like a Fuking duck pie, which is made from a Fuking duck that was run over on the way to the bakery this morning. And then, of course, we have the rabbit, which was hit on the way back. So we're getting it both ways. We've got a rabbit and Pinot pie, a Fuking duck pie. We have wonderful vegetable pies, and thanks to our little Nepalese mate Kedar, we have a wonderful range of curry pies. The tom yum pie is probably something that you wouldn't get anywhere else in the world, and every week we have a special like a steak and kidney traditional pie, and also don't forget the good old Cornish pasty and a curried lentil pasty. My word, they'll make you go, I can guarantee that. And if you want to get on a roll, get onto a sausage roll, because I tell you what, they're as good as it gets.
Customers start arriving at the Red Hill Bakery around 7 o'clock in the morning to buy beautiful fresh bread and croissant to take home for breakfast. Others choose to take away bacon and egg rolls to enjoy on the way to work. And the really lucky ones stay for a hearty country breakfast. The Red Hill Bakery, what a way to start the day.
In our cafe, of course, we serve all these wonderful pastries together with a salad and anything else you'd require with those. But we also, on a Thursday night, have a wonderful spice night, thanks to Kedar and all these wonderful flavours from Nepal. Hand ground through the mortar and pestle for hours to bring you the flavours that are absolutely magnificent.
Before I start this, I want to tell you how I became a friend with Jones. That was in 1992 when I arrived to Australia. He was the first man who gave me a job in the kitchen, and he used to call me Dishwasher King Kedar. So I didn't mind when he added the king. And then he gave me a job as a kitchen hand, and I developed from there. And knowing my background from Nepal, I already knew this cooking. And I became a chef in Australia, Western chef. And last year in September, he just grabbed me in supermarket. He said, "You got to come and work for me." And I used to help him here, there in the bakery. And I said, "If you're serious, do something that I can surprise you." And then we started having a chat, and we said, "Why about this past night?" I said, "Let's go."
Don't get around much anymore. Thought I'd visit the club. I got as far as the door.
Gorkhali pork, very authentic to Nepal, very spicy and fiery. That's a bit of coriander paste, which I always put it on there for the flavor. I make my own naan bread here twice a week in my hot oven. So what you eat here, you eat fresh all the time. I always cook on Wednesday for Thursday night. So curry is better when it's 1 day, 2 day old. It's seafood, Jamie. Seafood has to be cooked while it's fresh, and vegetable, anything green has to shear while it's fresh. But meat curries are always best if you cook few days before. They get the mature, they get the flavor. Texture is always nice when it's cooked. My dad taught me about cooking when I was a little one. Since I was 7, he taught me how to cook, because he himself was a family chef back in Nepal, and he gave me all the tips he ever had. And that's why I'm really good at cooking, because it comes from heritage. A bit of coriander, always go well. Now we will hit the bell, and we are opening the seafood night. And that's when you see my another talent. And I promise you, you won't be disappointed.
I miss the Saturday dance, and they crowded the floor. Also, we run a seafood night. Our seafood is fresh from the ocean. We've got flathead, we've got whiting, we've got calamari, we've got prawns, we've got oysters, we've got mussels, you name it, we have it fresh, delivered here, and specially prepared by a wonderful chef, Kedar. It's really something to die for. Don't get around much anymore. Living on the peninsula gives us the opportunity to source the best beef, lamb, vegetables and game there is to offer. Couple that with the wonderful fresh seafood that we get from Bass Strait, Western Port Bay and Port Phillip Bay, wedded together with the wine-growing district of Chardonnay and Pinot, world-renowned. This brings out absolutely the best you can get in chefs and cooks. Now it all comes together. At the end of the week, here's Sunday, where it's all combined, the wonderful food, the wonderful wine of the district, and of course we add the other ingredient for fun, and that's music. That happens on Silly Sunday, where the wonderful curries made by Cardor come together with the fresh seafood of the Mornington Peninsula, the wonderful wines which we take the corks out of, which we've been looking at and drooling over during the week, and we imbibe, we play music, we sing, we enjoy ourselves, and this is our fun day. That's our Sunday. Is there anyone finer in the state of Carolina? If there is, well, show her, show to me at Dinah. With the Dixie eyes blazing, how I love sitting gazing to the eyes of Dinah.